Thank you very much. Welcome to what's going to be, I think, one of the best sessions of the entire Super Summit, because we've got some really great people on here. My name is Mark Halpern from Part-Time Investors LLC. I run a group of 62 private investors called the Triple D Mindset Club, and we're not going to talk about that today so much. Okay, this is about Antifragile. If the lights were not in my face, I would ask for a show of hands how many people don't know what that is. But what I'll do is I'll just, I found some definition which I'm going to read, and then we'll go through the introductions. So there's a concept called antifragility, and here's the definition. Antifragility is a property of systems in which they increase in capability to thrive, which means their performance increases, as a result of stressors, shocks, volatility, noise, mistakes, faults, attacks, or failures. That's pretty interesting. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we talk about the anti-fragile investments, I'm going to ask everybody to introduce themselves for about 60 seconds. And just say who you are, what you do, and then we're going to get into some other things.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday, everyone. I'm a real estate investor for about 24 years. I'm outside of the Philadelphia area. I actually know Mark quite well. And I primarily do mostly multifamily investing. We've done a little bit of everything. We're going to be building our first new home development next year. We're also building our first industrial building next year. We also own an HVAC business as well. So we're pretty diversified in what we do. We definitely love the real estate market in our area, and we've invested in other places around the country as well.
Thank you, and good morning. I had a past life as a professional athlete, and I've transitioned into being a venture investor, and I have a sports-focused investment firm. It's a single member, so it's all self-funded, but I focus on media, team ownership, club ownership. Currently we're working on making some investments overseas, looking into buying clubs. So I'm from the Philadelphia area, so turns out we live near each other. But thank you.
James?
Hello, everybody. I am from here, Brooklyn, New York, and I invest alongside with my father and my sister into, I guess, just whatever warms our souls. We mostly focus on fine art, the contemporary art market, and blockchain.
Hi, my name's originally from the UK. I spent the last 40 years investing in technology, emerging markets, getting into sort of various trends and geopolitical things. Currently focused on sustainable solutions and financial systems.
My name's I am from Palo Alto, Silicon Valley, California, Bay Area. I have been focusing on technology since the age of 14. I went to college for the deep tech, physics, electronic engineering, and I turned myself into an investor about 15 years ago. But I always focus on deep tech. Right now, what I focus is impact investment that focus on how to using technologies and changing humans' life and then environment at the same time. Currently, we focus on energy sector, AI, and of course, some of the surrounding area like farming and data center AI. Thank you.
Oh, very good. This is really a great panel. And we always want to foster more relationships between the sponsors and the investors and all the participants here. So I'd like to actually combine two questions here. And one is, we'll just go down the row. If everybody could say, what things are you looking for? What are you looking to invest in? And in particular, if any of those things are anti-fragile, please highlight that as you're speaking.
Okay, as far as what we're looking to do, we kind of have a game plan for next year to be doing a lot of building. So we're like I mentioned, we're building a new home development, and we're also building an industrial building. And currently what we're looking to do is acquire as much land as possible, whether it's stuff that we can acquire right now or put options on it. I do feel land is probably the number one most anti-fragile thing, because if things go, the whole definition of anti-fragile is things that would go up even if the economic circumstances change. And I've never seen places where land really goes down in value. Especially if it's something that can be developed. So developed land's getting harder and harder to find, and the regulations to actually build stuff is getting tougher and tougher. So we're just trying to get our hands on whatever we can land-wise.
So at the moment, we're focused on acquiring more media companies, adding them into our current ecosystem, and finding really talented creators, content creators, and then teaching them how to monetize their talent. So I feel as though there's no end to people's attention as it relates to social media, content sharing platforms. So, and also in youth sports, particularly soccer, which is my focus, there are billions and billions of hours of games and training sessions that have been captured on phones, et cetera, that aren't organized. So part of my strategy has been to dominate the media space, and I've acquired the 3 largest media platforms in the country. But the next phase is how do I capture those billions of hours and organize them so that they're searchable? And I think that's pretty anti-fragile, just because kids won't stop scrolling. So.
And since they won't stop scrolling, we want to invest in more technology, artificial intelligence, definitely deeper into crypto, which we have strong conviction on. Love to meet people who are innovating, and we're not afraid of risk. So if there is, we want to be early at the risk of being wrong. But if we can understand it, we think there's potential for it, we want to take a chance on that. And we're into art because art to us is anti-fragile. And that is a big part of our investment thesis.
Yeah, I'm tending to look sort of 5 years out and saying where we're likely to be in 5 years' time, given that, when you're investing PE or VC, you're actually not going to exit for 5 to 10 years. So I'm figuring out, if I put some money in now, how am I going to get that back in 5 to 10 years' time? So looking at that, you start looking at, what is the US looking like? What's it going to look like in 5 to 10 years' time? What are other places going to look like? So I'm looking at the big picture. I'm a seller of real estate. I'm happy to sell you land. I have too much of it. Land does go down, sadly. So I bought it in the last distress, and I'm happy to flog it now and buy it back again. But I think if you're looking at the very, very big picture, I think that Africa is a place where you want to be for a variety of reasons, and I'm happy to go into detail face-to-face on that one. But I think places like media again and technology, I think we're seeing radical shifts in technology and the way people work and do things, and I think that's where the big picture opportunities are. And I'd be getting out of a lot of conventional assets like office space, US residential properties.
Linda?
In terms of our segments, in the past 5 to 10 years, depends on the technology on our portfolio companies, we have been prepared for the green energy, AI. Everybody talks about AI as of today, but we have been participated and prepared probably like a focus 7, 8 years ago, and same thing as the green technologies. At the same time, next year and the next 5 to 10 years, we are ready, basically helping the enablement, I would say, of different sectors, from transforming the green, the energy sector to green, electromagnetic power, for example. And then because of that transition, we can help the data centers when they need doubles the capacity because of the AI data is coming. The farming industry and also has shortage of food, and a lot of these things happen, and with the inflation and high value, and then the nutrition as that. So we are helping the farming industry transition to some of the greenhouse technology, for example, to be able to put the food on your table from one day or a few hours transportation instead of a few days ago, and then they can up to double the 30 times more of the quantity or volumes from one land pieces of 25 acres, for example. So they can transform their traditional farms to helping with hydroponic farm. And then clean water is enablement of our technology by providing them the green energies that's also help on the carbon free, emission free. With the AI, we could doing the deployment, the safety, the maintenance, everything better in terms of management side of it. And last but not least, we were hoping from the development countries like Africa, and then also from the metro area, so every kids can access to internet because a lower cost of the energy, so they can access to it and to the lower cost premium of any internet or can be free. So that's an fourth goals of what we're trying to achieve in the next 5 to 10 years. So we need a lot of alignments with every one of you and also everyone in the world to different regions. So we partner with, our strategy partner with a lot of different regional leaders onto that.
Very good. You can see the diversity of the concepts that people are talking about, which is really great. I'm just looking at the time because I'm dying to ask you about vertical farming, if you've done any of that. I think we're doing not too bad. Do you have any comments, Linda, by any chance on vertical farming? It was a really hot topic maybe 7, 8 years ago. Did you get into it? Because you mentioned hydroponics. I don't want to put you on the spot here, but
I don't want to argue too much time, but just one sense. So I am actually right after this meeting, tomorrow I'm going to meet with Rhode Island governors. We have a meeting right there. So they grouped all the farming industry over there, like mostly a private family farm. So they are transitioning from traditional to hydroponics. So we are on that move. We also partner with a lot of there was association with 200,000 corporations in the world, so like on the farming side. So we're partnering with them and then try to bring in the green energy plus all the things in the farming industry in terms of greenhouses, how to control the climate inside the farming, and also how to be able to be 80% or double the nutrition levels of those produce, and again 30 times up to the volumes of production. So that's where we're heading to.
Yeah, hydroponics is an amazing thing, and I'm investing in some greenhouses. Anyway, I don't want to get into all
comment on that as well?
Please.
Because, I did hydroponics back in the 90s and vertical farming. I mean, getting back to, again, the bigger picture, 2/3 of all the world's remaining arable land is in Africa, and it's largely unused, and Africa is a net importer of food. Now, they have the cheapest arable land in the world. Now, if I'm planting in Africa, your New Jersey is not even close. You're like 1,000 times more expensive. So, and again, if you look at land, this land is currently worthless because it doesn't have the infrastructure in place and the irrigation systems and the logistics and the payment systems. So if you're looking at, and this is where I see the opportunities, this is very, very cheap way of producing food in a world that doesn't have food. But the food is not getting produced because the capital's not going on and the technology's not going on. Now, if you look at the people on here, you have a lot of the technology. You have technology, you have connections, you know how to get stuff done and promote stuff, and you know land and development and other systems. I personally think that is the opportunity for a lot of the people in this room, is to start looking very much outside the box and say, hey, we've got some great things in the US, capital markets, technology, management skills, everything else. Why are we all running around chasing the next real estate deal when there are whole continents out there that lack these basic technologies and skills where people in the US can apply those and make shitloads of money?
Fascinating. I told you it was a great panel here.
If you're a founder raising capital, developing real estate, or you're an investor, would love for you to get involved in the Family Office Club. I've run this community for 18 years now. We've hosted 300 live events. We have 17 million social media group members and followers. We have the #1 YouTube channel on family offices. We have the #1 most popular podcast on family offices. You can learn more about us and our membership options at familyoffices.com. We have 30 in-person events planned in 2026 and another dozen events this year. Please go to familyoffices.com to learn more.